Hello, everyone. Today I wanted to chat with you about the benefits or the pros of print-on-demand publishing. I know I talk a lot about self-publishing, and there are a lot of different ways to do it, but really today the most popular way to self-publish your book is print-on-demand publishing. So I just wanted to run through some of the reasons why you should definitely consider doing that, and really, these are the same reasons why I have chosen to do print-on-demand publishing as well. So hello, I am Dr. Beth Brombose of Blogger to Author. I'm a best-selling author, and I really love helping my fellow bloggers and content creators turn their content into books, and I help them do this in a number of ways, both through one-on-one coaching, a course that I have, and then my free Facebook community as well, which you can find at blogger2author.com/community. It'll forward you to the right place where you can join. But again, today I wanted to chat with you about print on demand. And for those of you who are considering self-publishing, print on demand is probably the way that you will go, and it's the way that honestly a lot of people are going. Even people who are big names, they're still choosing to, instead of going with more of a traditional bulk print publisher, they're going with services that do print on demand, like CreateSpace, which is by far the most popular with everybody I work with and who I hear from. Amazon also has a ARM KDP, Kindle Direct Publishing. You can now do print on demand through KDP. It's essentially basically the same thing as CreateSpace. There are also other options out there as well, options like Blurb, and then Barnes & Noble also has their own print on demand service as well. But there are a lot of benefits of these services, and first and foremost, it's that they are a lot less expensive and they can be free to use, especially I know firsthand from using both CreateSpace and KDP. You can do it for free if you're willing to do a little bit of formatting yourself, and if you can either use your own photography and design your book cover yourself, or if you are willing to use one of their book cover templates. So for those of you who may be sort of stuck in the mentality that you don't have enough money to self-publish, if you have the time to do so, you can absolutely DIY your entire book and get it out there for free. So don't let money hold you back. There are definitely ways to get around it. You can also do it for very low cost and just hire out the things that you really need help with, whether that is designing a book cover, whether it is going in and formatting the book. That's honestly the part that I know most of my clients struggle with the most, is getting that formatting down. So you can hire people along the way if you need an editor, whatever it is. And, find somebody who fits into your budget. Of course, there's people in all ranges of budgets for each one of those tasks that I just mentioned. And along with that, the advantage of saving some money comes the fact that you also don't have to pay for a large inventory, because they do print on demand. So it used to be, before these print on demand services came up, it used to be that you would have to go to a publisher and order hundreds or even thousands of copies of your book, and then you would have to figure out a place to store them all as well. So not only would it cost more money because you're having to have a bunch of books printed and then keep them in your home, but then also you would have to figure out a place again to physically store them. This is still the model that you have to work with if you are looking for certain types of books. So for example, my latest podcast episode, episode 54, I interviewed Angela Ferrari, who is a children's book author. If you want to get a board book printed, to my knowledge, there aren't any board book print-on-demand services. All of the print-on-demand services are pretty much for paperbacks. So if you really wanted to publish a board book for children, you would have to go that route to where you would find a publisher, get all of your files to them, and you would pay to have, 500 or 1,000 or however many copies printed, and then you would have to store them. But for those of us who can publish on paperback, it's a lot easier with these print-on-demand services. And they are incredibly user-friendly too, especially because there is some competition to get your material, essentially your content for your book. So, Create Space, as Amazon's print-on-demand service, is in competition with Barnes & Noble's print-on-demand service, which is in competition with Blurbs. So luckily they do have some different ways to make it relatively user-friendly to do. However, a lot of them do want you to pay for their services. For example, Amazon offers formatting services for Create Space, that sort of thing. And so there are a few things that they don't necessarily make abundantly clear because they want your money. But you can figure it out. I know I figured it out. I will say that I'm maybe a little more tech savvy than the average person, but it is doable. So I hope that if you are either kind of waffling between whether you want to work with a traditional publisher or a self-publisher, or if you want to self-publish, and if you're trying to figure out how you want to self-publish your book, if you're in that space, you probably have thought about print on demand, but definitely those of you who have ebooks that you sell through your website, absolutely consider getting them into print. You will have readers who would much rather have a printed version than a ebook version. It's easier to mark them up and take notes and flip to the correct page in a lot of instances. And so having that book actually in a physical form can be really beneficial as opposed to just having it in digital form. And then also when you get it into those marketplaces, when you get it onto Amazon or Barnes & Noble or whatever it is, you're going to reach a wider audience than just people who would come onto your website to purchase your ebook. You're going to show up in searches on Amazon, and Amazon is functioning just like a search engine these days, and it's full of people who are ready to buy. So absolutely, I want you to please, please, please consider getting your book into print. And especially for those of you who may not have the money or the time or whatever it is to get a large print run going, absolutely consider the print-on-demand services. They're much more convenient for most of us, and they are very doable. So that's my pep talk for today. Get your book into print and really consider using those print-on-demand services because they make it very easy for those of us who are self-published authors. If you need extra help with anything, especially when it comes to those different components of self-publishing your book and getting it onto a print-on-demand service, check out my services at blogger2author.com/services. You can find out all the different ways that I can help you out there. Have a great day, and I will see you soon.